200 metres to go and Laughing Gravy is a mile in front. Cope Tardo battling on strongly. Fastnet Dragon down the outside, but Laughing Gravy a mile clear in the QE2 Cup. Laughing Gravy's going to bolt in for Brown and Boss. Laughing Gravy by 3. Second Cope Tardo, third Bourbon Goldman running on well. Fastnet Dragon was close up.
Well, Ron, we've just seen Laughing Gravy here at the National Equestrian Centre. I must say, he looks an absolute treat. Just talk us through the process as to when you received him and what he's done since then.
Well, we received LG, as we know him, here in the stable in August, I believe, last year. And so far, he's been an amazing horse. Has adopted, settled in quite nice. And the new process of retraining racehorse is a bit different. It's just like teaching someone a new language. So the moment you sit and train them, launch them, he's been very, he accepts everything. He's very willing, has a nice character, which makes things easier. Since then, he's been basically trained in dressage and towards jumping. I would say, as a jumper myself, he has good quality for jumping. He's very keen towards the jump, not scary, very brave. He's been to a couple shows already. He's been jumping up to 90 centimeters in shows and training up to a meter 10. And that's all in, I guess, about 8 months. So that's quite good for an ex-race horse, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking there before, the thoroughbred breed, quite a versatile one, you were saying.
Yes.
So it's obviously it's handy that they can sort of almost turn their hand to almost anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those breeds that you can just, as you said, they're so athletic that they basically, with the right training and give them the right time, you can do anything with them. I think one of the things that you should, if someone wants to get a thoroughbred or next, give the horse a second career, which will be great. There's so many horses in the racetrack that they deserve a second chance if they're not running enough, but they're completely sound. I mean, they could always go as a pleasure horse, jumping, dressage, whichever you like. But most of it, I think it's having a lot of patience and time, making sure that not always with horses, they're animals. Not always things are going to go right from day one. So it's just having patience and dedicate, as much time as possible, and then on the long run, they'll be amazing animals to work with.
It seems like he's doing wonderfully well, and obviously of the story on a whole, I mean, Group 1 winner in Singapore to now potential dressage champion. It's quite something, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, just today we had a show here, and it was his first time in dressage. It was one of my riders, and it's also her first time competing in dressage. He did a novice level, had I think a decent score, and placed third out of a class of about 9 horses, which is quite a good number. And his percentage in scoring was quite decent. I think he did amazing for his first time competing, and it just gets better from here. They get a little nervous going into the ring first time. It's a different scenario. There's music, there's people. So yeah, I think I have, big hopes for him.
Well, listen, great to speak to you, Ron, and loads to look forward to.
Thank you so much.
Paul Robbins, Nick Johnston, we've had a look at Laughing Gravy earlier on this morning. You were the two gentlemen, or at least part of the ownership group that had a great time with him during his time in training with Cliff Brown. Take us back to the very beginning, Paul. How did you come by Laughing Gravy?
Well, Cliff acquired him after the horse had won a race, I believe, in Australia in a track I believe called Murtoa. Don't quote me on that. And Cliff, who avidly watches such videos, I'm sure, most mornings or afternoons here in Singapore, decided to ship him over. And Nick and I had already been in some other horses with Cliff, with some success as well. So we decided to go into the renamed Laughing Gravy. That was not what he was known as in Australia.
Tell us about the naming, Nick. Laughing Gravy. I think it's a bit of amusement to it. A bit of a sketch.
Laughing Gravy is one of my favourite favourite Lauren Hardy movies.
And obviously his rise through the ranks, obviously when you got him, I guess you never envisaged you were going to have a Group 1 winner. It's always a hope, but perhaps the way it materialised was obviously very pleasing.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a few horses now, and then looking back, I mean, it was a dream horse. When he got beat in his first couple of races, he got beat by like Gold Cup horses. And yeah, it was just step by step, and then he went on a great run. He won 4 races back to back, with eventually Glen Boss winning the QE2.
And Paul,
dream come true.
Absolutely. Paul, of that day, how much do you remember of the QE2 Cup?
Oh, quite a lot. More of the day than the night, I think. So yeah, there was a video taken actually, which we still have, where you can see the scenes of joy as he won quite easily that day actually. So we had all of that. So we remember it very, very well, yeah. And as I said, the happiest day of my racing times really. Yeah.
And Nick, we were fortunate enough to go and have a look at him this morning. You must have been pleased with what you saw. He looked in great shape, and he's now moving on to both show jumping and dressage. It must be really pleasing for you guys to see obviously a horse of that calibre, get a nice retirement like he has now.
Oh, totally right. Yeah, I mean, he owes us nothing. He was a dream horse, probably maybe once in a lifetime. You can dream for someone like Wings or someone like that, but I mean, yeah, he was absolutely a great horse, and he's so happy now. He deserves a nice retirement here.
He certainly does. Well, guys, great to catch up with you, and hopefully we'll follow his progress, and I'm sure he'll do well in the dressage arena.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.
2 Cup, Laughing Gravy's going to bolt in for Brown and Boss. Laughing Gravy by 3. Second Cope Tano, third Bourbon Goulburn running on well. Fastnet Dragon was close up, followed by Keshwa, then came next of all where Perfect Peace have gone across the line. They were followed